All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
This is the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Good morning. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with my husband, fellow realtor Pat Devaney.
Good morning, Jackie. How are you this week?
Excellent. How are you?
Very good.
We are with, for the second week in a row, Vince Williamson, owner of Sanitech Solutions. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming back. We appreciate your time. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where we talk real estate. We have a full-time real estate office with many exceptional realtors who have won the Quality Service Award from Century 21 continuously year after year. And they have been guiding, assisting, and advising clients in real estate matters for 50 years.
Wow, 50 years. During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com, or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, click on the webcam tab. It's on the top of the page, and you get a live view of Dunmore Corners. But this time of the year, there's no snow to be looking at, but I'm sure that'll be here in 3 weeks.
Lots of cars.
Lots of cars going by, and
Yeah.
once in a while, you'll see one crash into the front of the bank or something. So, it's kind of...
It could get interesting.
There's always something going on.
And check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, and view our listings, search the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows by going to jruddy.com. That's mobile friendly, JRUDDY.com, where we also have all the popular podcast apps listed where you can listen to our show by podcast. Or search it by going to your podcast app, the Real Estate Roundtable with Jackie Ruddy. We should pop up there.
Yeah, well, we have Eileen on Long Island who downloads it, and she walks around listening to us on our podcast.
But it gives me a good idea of what people want to listen to, so...
How does that work?
Yeah, so it's based on download.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I see what the most popular shows are, what people want to listen to. And it has mostly to do with packing up the home, is a radon in the water, what to do when you're ready to sell your home, etc. Those are seem to be the most popular shows, but it gives me a good idea of what people are listening to and want to listen to. So I love when they download the shows.
My favorite is the paranormal. We have ghost hunters on the show, guys who've been on TV, who've done stuff. I say you love that stuff too. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Okay. So we have with us Vince Williamson, owner of Sanitech Solutions. Tell me about your company and all the environmental services that you perform, please.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Vince, and we are a full mold remediation antiviral disinfectant company. What we do is we go into a home, we evaluate the home, we'll evaluate the structure, the substructure, and kind of identify and give the homeowner a better idea of how to get a handle of the mold issues that can occur.
So we talked about mold last week and indoor air quality and how to keep a healthy home. And so, we talked about that. And you also do radon testing.
Absolutely.
And you do meth cleanup.
Yes, absolutely.
And you do soil testing.
Yes, the soil test.
Let's talk about soil testing.
All right, so soil sampling. What we do is, say, for example, a neighbor's septic system backs up. They'll have the septic management company come out and evaluate the area and make some repairs. But you're really worried about the soil that has crossed over into your yard.
Did it seep?
Did it seep in? Yep. Did it leach and make its way into your backyard? Right. So sometimes you'll get that septic smell that just doesn't seem to be going away. So they'll call me out, and I'll take a couple soil samples and send it off to the lab and see if there's any VOCs within that soil. Pretty much any type of waste that made their way over into the yard. Soil sampling is also popular amongst people that move into rural areas where their next door neighbor may be a farmer. And here you are coming to buy a house, or you're building a house on 4 or 5 acres of land right next to a farm. They'll call me in to do some soil sampling to make sure that the soil surrounding their build site didn't become contaminated with any type of animal waste or byproducts.
What is VOC? Volatile?
Volatile organism.
Okay.
Yep. So any type of waste that is presented within the soil we'll pick it up.
Okay.
So how often should someone test their soil? Only when there's a problem?
Yeah, that's
or if it was a farmland?
Yeah, that's as needed. I wouldn't recommend getting a soil sample done every year. I mean, the more you know about your property, great.
Unless you're going to garden and you want to know what nutrients are in your soil.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you provide that service. And one of the other things that you do is lead testing.
Yes.
Lead-based paint testing.
Yes. The magic date of 1978 for all you realtors out there.
Right. So we do predominantly sell homes that are in that pre-1978 construction age.
Correct.
Okay. So we see a lot of possible lead-based paint candidates.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you do? How do you do this?
All right. So what I'll do is I'll go into the home, and if I see any areas of opportunity to take a paint sample, I'm not going to walk in someone's home and go to the first spot I see where it's the most identifiable that you can see it, and then take a big paint chip right off the wall and go, nope, got to test it. It's official business, right? Flash my
chunk of
flash
Get a
my
big spatula
mold
and chunk
badge.
it,
Official business, don't worry. I'll go into like a closet or something. Go down into the closet, the most inconspicuous space I can find. Take a paint chip sample and send it off to the lab and see what they come back with. The good news is a lot of the times where the older homes come into play, they've been painted so many times.
Correct.
Where the lead-based paint is probably 15, 20 years buried under paint, where it's not gonna be an environmental hazard for anyone that eats paint chips.
And that's the concern, especially for children, that they eat,
Correct.
they ingest them, and then of course they have the after effects.
Yes,
And there can be brain damage.
Yep, it's more children, even pets.
Right.
You get wandering dog noses, and they just want to lick and sniff everything up off the floor. And you got paint chips all over their nose, and you're like,
Yeah. Okay.
Fido, what the hell? What are you doing?
Okay, so you do that testing, and so people want to know especially if they have children, young children.
Yes.
First-time home buyers usually are the candidates for this, and so they test. So then what? So it comes back, and there's lead. So then what? What do you do?
So once it's been determined that there is lead paint, right? And again, now that it's been brought to light, now everyone knows about it. So now it's either on the seller's disclosure. Now everybody knows we have to do an abatement of lead test.
Okay, and what does that entail?
All right.
Abatement.
All right, the abatement.
Removal?
Removal.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Everybody comes in with strippers and scrapers and get
Strippers and poles?
Not that kind of stripper.
Whoa, cowboy.
Yeah. Where did your
Calm
mind
yourself.
go?
We need an
Immediately
abatement.
in the gutter.
Terrible. Sorry.
Straight to the gutter.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't-
no worries.
But they come in with strippers.
Yeah, we'll come in with the strippers and
You're never going to say that word
No.
the same ever again.
I have to come up with another name for the,
Okay,
the
good.
chemical. So we'll come in with a bunch of chemicals. Yep, and then we'll begin chipping away and get it down to the bare surface. Heat guns, anything that you can name. It's a taxing project.
Very. And so costly, I would imagine, too.
Absolutely, because even though, say for example, the chemicals aren't going to be the cost factor here, it's going to be the labor and the man hours and the disposal, because it's not like we can just throw it in trash bags and wait for the garbage man to come and pick it up. We have to find places where we can properly dispose of it.
Right. So whenever you are doing any of your mitigation services, you also deal with the hazardous material disposal.
Yes, the hazmat. Absolutely. So we would go into a job site and we're in full hazmat suits, respirator masks. We got dehumidifiers going, blowers going, ozone machines going to keep that air clean and that positive airflow while we're working, right? So now we're at the disposal phase. Everything is bag and tagged, and then we have to drop it off to a proper disposal site. Typically, any dump site will take it, except we have to drive in a certain section. We're weighed differently. They want to keep inventory of what we're doing, and they'll take it, and then we leave the check at the door.
Yeah, and it's probably more expensive to dispose of it.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So you'll take care of all of that. And now the lead abatement, you're doing the entire property, I'm sure, at that point. All the wood trim, the doors,
Yes.
the walls, etc., cabinets if they were painted. And
ma'am.
so it could take how long?
Well, a typical lead abatement project, depending on the square footage of the home,
Yes.
depending on how much of the material had to be salvaged. Like, are we going to do a complete rip out
Okay.
and reinstall of new material, or does everything want to be, salvaged? If it's a Victorian home, and you're not going to find that trim and that woodwork anymore, and they want to salvage that stuff, you could be looking at 2 weeks worth of work.
Yeah, I would imagine. So then, but like even it doesn't necessarily have to do with the paint on the wall. It could be a varnish on a floor too, or a wall or a door that could
Absolutely.
also contain lead.
Yes, ma'am. Lead, asbestos. You go into some of the older homes with the linoleum floors, not the vinyl. The newer products have the vinyl that are laid down. The older homes have that linoleum, that oil-based floor where if you go in some older homes, it's dried and it's cracked and it's peeling off the floor. That can have lead in it. It can have asbestos in it. It can have a whole bunch of other chemicals.
Hazardous materials.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. And then when it cracks and it decays and you're walking on it, that's when there's trouble.
Absolutely. Then it becomes airborne, anything disturbed. Same thing with any type of asbestos wrap. If once it's disturbed and becomes airborne, that's when it becomes hazardous.
You have a story about asbestos on pipes when you were a boy.
Oh, yeah.
When you were a boy.
Yeah,
I'm
my
thinking
friend
about-
Bobby, he's probably listening. But
Hi, Bobby and Regina.
Hi, Bobby and Regina. But we would go into his basement, and we would be like 10, 12 years old. We'd be playing with the trains or something. He had these American Flyers. We'd take the wrap off the pipes, and we'd start beating each other with it. Because we thought it was cool. You get this cloud of stuff.
Could you imagine?
Oh,
today's
dear God,
yeah.
it would be national news. It would be national news, the things we used to do. We'd be coming out of there, all covered in white.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was fun. I hope your father doesn't catch us, Bobby.
Yeah. Okay. That's your asbestos
Yeah, that's
contribution to this show today. Thank you very much.
Anytime
Yeah.
you want.
All right.
Well, it was a different world back then.
No kidding.
I'm
different.
sure you had guys installing the asbestos pipe wrap with cigarettes in their hands.
Cigarettes
So
and a beer, and,
asbestos
using the lead paint. And,
Yeah.
it was a different
It's a
world.
much different world. Radon. What's that? I mean, did you ever hear that word growing up?
No, not at all.
All right. Well, and it's here to stay. And there are people that are very concerned about it. So you do the lead testing and abatement. You remove it, and that's good to know because there are times when that is necessary. With us today is Vince Williamson, owner of Sanitech Solutions. It's an full-service environmental company. May I have your contact information, please?
Absolutely. You can reach me at 610-726-1211 or email me at sanitechsafe@gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Pat?
And I want to add that Vince is a former Marine, 7 years.
Yes,
8
sir.
years. 8 years.
Yes, sir.
8 years. And you did 3 tours and
3 tours,
Overseas.
over 8-9 duty stations, 3 tours overseas, 3 MOS changes. So I had some fun.
well, thank you for your service.
Thank
And
you.
God love you and God bless you.
Yes.
Thank
Well, now I'm going to change the subject here. We have a 3-unit building. It's at 417 Smith Street in Dunmore, and it's $223,000. This building, it's got 2 2-bedroom apartments and a 1-bedroom apartment. It sits on a 50 by 110 lot, and it's got low taxes of only $2,400 a year. This fully occupied building, it's got a newer roof, newer windows, and flooring. So if you've been thinking about investing, take a look at this 3-unit building at 417 Smith Street in Dunmore. for $223,000, and that's listed by Gail Lewis of our office.
Oh, thank you, Pat. And I have the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors.
Statistics?
A little bit, not so much just statistics, but it is information that 8 Pennsylvania cities make 150 best places to live list in the nation, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Harrisburg came in at the highest of any Pennsylvania town, and that's at number 61. And it was applauded for its value and low cost of living, especially the housing market, which is $50,000 less on average than the national average. And the national average is $315,743. Pittsburgh was the second one on the of the Pennsylvania towns on the list, finished at 71, number 71, and that's because of its affordability, especially in housing, and quality of life. Lancaster was number 74 for quality of life, and because it has a wide range of lifestyles for the Amish and a thriving downtown.
How do you say it?
I say Lancaster, but that's not the correct way of saying it.
How do they say it? They say it.
I don't know. Jessica.
Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Right. That's it. I knew we were saying it wrong.
Yes, I do. I don't say it, but I say Lancaster. Most people in this area say Lancaster.
Okay. Lancaster.
All right. York was named 96, primarily due to value and job market. Reading was named 101 because of quality of life and value. Reading is less than half of the average of the U.S. average of housing at 157.6. Allentown was number 108 because of quality of life and value. Scranton was number 110.
Scranton.
Out of 150. Okay, so those are the towns in Pennsylvania that hit that list. What was number 1 on the list in the country? You want to take a guess?
San Antonio, Texas.
Wrong. Vince, would you like to take a crack at this?
Let's see. San Francisco.
Oh, no. God forbid.
No. Boulder, Colorado was named the best place to live in 2021-2022, and that is thanks to their job market and desirability. Interesting news, right?
Yes.
But it's nice that we made the list.
Yes, I'd rather be in someplace warm. Boulder sounds cold.
Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate and 94.3 FM The Talker. We'll be right back.
Who are Century 21 agents? They're high-tech gizmo packing problem solvers with an appetite for getting things done. They know the best places to buy a home, to sell a home, and to find antiques, if you're into that kind of thing. They're weatherproof, foolproof, and proof positive that smart people doing good work can make big things happen for great folks like you. Oh, and there's one nearby. This is who they are. This is what they do. Century 21 agents. Smarter, bolder, faster. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hi, this is Jackie Ruddy from Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Is real estate on your mind? It's on ours 24/7. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or in need of an appraisal, you have questions, we have answers.
Thinking of buying or selling a house and have questions? Tune in to the Real Estate Roundtable hosted by locally owned and operated Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 11:30.
Call 570-344-6724 or visit jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com. We're back with more Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker and owner, in with Pat Devaney, my husband, fellow realtor.
And we're having a great conversation.
We are with Vince Williamson, owner of Sanitech Solutions.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Recap all the services, environmental services you provide, please.
All right. So from the top, we
Yes.
got mold remediation. We got soil sampling. We got lead-based paint. We got radon testing. We got mold sampling. We got antiviral disinfecting. The disinfecting service is something that we offer. It was pretty much geared toward the real estate transaction that occurs once the home closes. We've, especially during last year,
Right.
when a lot of buyers and sellers alike were concerned on the foot traffic within the home. So something I came up with is something for an antiviral treatment within the home. You go in, you spray down the home, you air fog the home, scrub it down. This way, when the buyer takes possession of the home, it's completely clean, and they don't have to worry about, the 50, 60 hands and feet that went through those doors touching all of the surface.
So you're sanitizing, but you're not doing like a carpet cleaning or
correct.
You're not like cleaning out the cupboards. You're cleaning the air.
Absolutely.
All right. So when you're spraying and you're using a defogger,
Yep.
when you do that and it's going in through the air, is it when it hits surfaces, does it leave a residue, or could you see it on the wall when it dries?
No residue is left behind. What it actually does is once it goes onto the applied surface, we go behind it and we wipe it down. And then I would say maybe about 4 hours after we're done fogging and spraying, it's no longer a health hazard after that point. It completely sanitizes and cleans the surfaces.
Viruses.
Yep, and viruses and everything else.
Removes it.
Yep.
So, Jackie, you have that lady who comes in with the sage, and what does that do? Does that get rid of that chases out the bad spirits, right? So you could have
bad energy.
The bad energy. So you could have the lady come in with the sage.
Yes.
Chase out the bad energy, let the sage go away, and then you can come in and you can chase out all the viruses.
Absolutely. I'll walk in with my fogger right after she's done.
You get a twofer.
Yes.
Yes, right. So,
Yes.
right. So, you do the homes, you do sanitizing. I'm sure you do commercial offices, buildings.
Yep. Commercial offices are handled exactly the same way. You get a change of hands and ownership. Or over the past year, what we've been doing is we've been going into daycares. We've been going into restaurants. We've been going into any, bar and grills. And we've been treating those businesses.
Weekly, periodically, how often?
Pretty much the normal account is set up on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So I'd go into a daycare every month on top of their normal sanitation guidelines. I'd go in there, fog, air scrub, and clean. Go into a restaurant, do the same thing. Go into a bar and grill, do the same thing. Banks we've done. 24-hour fitnesses in our area we've done. So we've visited quite a lot of
Keep the place
businesses.
safe, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily mean there was somebody that actually had COVID.
No.
You're just preventing it from...
Just preventing it from festering.
Right. Okay.
It gives people peace of mind.
Sure.
Because these places already have sanitation and safety practices in place. We're just an extra precursor. That's all.
Right. And it was needed. And I think as we move along here, I think something like this is here to stay because we're more mindful of it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So another service that you provide is you sanitize vehicles.
Yep. That was another item that we've added on to our list of services. What we will do is, you can pull up your car as we're either, say, treating the home or the business. We'll go into, somebody can bring their vehicle down to our location and we'll do a complete sanitization of their vehicle, the entire interior of their car. Now, it's not a
detailing.
Yeah, it's not a detailing service. But
So you're not putting Armor All on the tires? Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not vacuuming or changing the air filters in the cars and making it smell like that new car smell once I'm all done. But
you're killing viruses.
I'm killing viruses.
You're killing viruses.
Yes.
So, there's a lot of companies that have cars that they use for the company.
Like their fleet cars.
Yes, the delivery people or whatever, and their salespeople or whomever.
Yep.
And so there's multi-users.
Yes.
And in that case, it would make complete sense.
Absolutely. UPS guys, FedEx guys, Amazon guys, all those trucks are just changing hands on a daily basis. And if someone were interested in a fleet package, that's what I would go and do. I'd show up to their business with, my handy dandy tools and chemicals and get to work.
Okay, very
Or if I bought a used car, maybe I could come by.
You could do that too. Absolutely. You're worried about, how many owners the car had, who was in and out.
Or a
test driving.
rental, God forbid.
A rental?
Right, if you're going to have it for a little while.
Or a U-Haul, because if you're going to move your house, you're moving from one house to another, and you just bought it, you just sold it, the U-Haul that you use.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
so.
Yep. Whatever eases someone's peace of mind.
Okay, could you give me some sort of idea of cost? I mean, it does probably depend on square footage, right? So size.
Well, for the vehicle, it's pretty much, when I price the vehicles, it's really it's not really a one size fits all, but it can range from $99 to $189.
Okay.
So if you have a Ford Expedition, it's $189.
Right.
If you have a
Prius,
the smart cars, it's $99.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Gives us an idea. What about like houses?
Houses. All right. So for antiviral disinfectant within house, air scrub, get all the viruses out of the house, we could be looking at anywhere from $289 to $489, depending on the square footage.
For peace of mind.
Yep. Just
For
for
peace of mind. Right.
Absolutely.
Somebody, right. So you're moving into where somebody else lived, and not because they necessarily had COVID.
Right.
But it's just.
Yep. At that point in time, when you sign those, say, for example, you sign the closing documents, there's that brief day or two where no one's going to be in the house. I can get in there, I can disinfect it, and when you show up to the house and turn those keys, you're walking into a house where it's really no one has touched it after that point.
Yeah, and most people would clean the cupboards, wipe them down before they put their things in there, shampoo the rugs. That's standard
That's
stuff.
standard.
Yeah, but they're sneezing and coughing all over the place.
This is just right. So this is an extra layer of security.
That's all it is.
Okay. Vince Williamson, owner of Sanitech Solutions, a full-service environmental company. How does someone get in touch with you?
You can reach me at 610-726-1211, or feel free to email me at sanitechsafe@gmail.com.
Okay.
And another service that we do offer that I would like to mention is asbestos removal, especially in the older homes where you go down into the basement, which are, the boiler systems, and you got your piping that's running across your basements. And what is that white sealant that's around the heating pipes?
But they have to be tested, right? Because it could be vermiculite.
Exactly. It has to be tested.
And it looks the same.
Yes. Yep.
Why didn't they come up with a red product or a green product? Why does it have to be white?
Or a tag that said this product contains asbestos.
Right, yeah. So you do removal of asbestos.
Yep, we'll come
then
in.
you'll probably have to do an air quality test after you remove it, right?
After we remove it.
And then
yes.
you do that.
Yep. We'll come in, we'll remove the asbestos, we'll spray everything down, we'll sanitize everything. We'll even put the newer foam insulation back, because those pipes get hot and we don't want anyone getting hurt.
Burned.
Absolutely.
Right.
So then we'll put those up for the customer, and then we'll perform an air quality test to make sure that nothing went airborne while we were doing it.
Well, what I like is that you can do this in your one-stop shop, because a lot of times you have to deal with different companies to do different things.
Correct.
So you do it all.
I try to keep it one-stop shop. I don't want, and it gives people peace of mind, because if they have to play contractor,
There's nothing worse.
yes, they're just going to get turned off from the whole idea.
And it's high anxiety, let's
Absolutely.
face it.
So if you can hire someone one-stop shop where they're going to say, okay, no problem, this done, this done, this done. This is the scope of work. This is the budget. If we can operate within this budget, I can be your one-stop shop.
Good stuff, Vince. Thank you so much for 2 weeks in a row. A fabulous discussion. We appreciate you and your time.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
All right. Pat?
Yes, we have an investor's dream. It's a duplex at 1824 Clearview Street in Scranton for only $125,000. This is a well-maintained duplex. It has a 2-bedroom apartment and a 1-bedroom apartment. This property, it's on a quiet street with off-street parking for 4 cars. The property has low taxes of only $2,000 a year, and it's fully occupied. The landlord bills are low, so take a look at 1824 Clearview Street, a duplex where you could live in one unit and have the rent pay the mortgage for only $125,000. And this property is listed by Amanda Rudis of our office.
Thank you, Pat. Remember to join us next Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 11:30 a.m. to listen to more of the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker.